Welcome back to our channel, folks. Today is a fantastic day to dive deep into the absolute madness that is currently unfolding in Genoa City, and we are so incredibly thrilled to have you here to unpack all of this juicy drama with us. Grab a snack and get comfortable, because we have a lot to talk about today. I am literally screaming at my screen right now. I cannot even begin to process the absolute insanity of what just went down in this latest episode. And I just need to vent to people who actually understand my level of emotional investment in this show. I mean, can we talk about this? Phyllis and Jack teaming up again. I have been watching this soap for years and years, and I have to say, this might be the most desperate, chaotic, and brilliant thing Phyllis Summers has ever done. And I am entirely here for it, but I am also terrified of how badly this is going to blow up in everyone's faces. Let me just back up for a second because I am getting way ahead of myself. React first. Explain later, right? But seriously, I am just so worked up over the fact that Phyllis has been pushed to the absolute brink. I mean, look at what she is dealing with right now. She has been completely cornered by Victor Newman and Christine Blair. Victor has been using that ridiculous AI program to frame her. He bought all her entire staff at Summers' conglomerate, and he is actively trying to destroy her life, and Christine. Ew, don't even get me started on Christine. She is acting like Victor's personal lapdog right now, waving around legal threats and trying to throw Phyllis in a jail cell. So Phyllis is backed into a corner, right? She has absolutely no leverage left. Her entire empire is crumbling. And her one saving grace, her ultimate trump card, was Matt Clark. She had Matt tucked away, dealing with his severe amnesia, and she was totally planning to use him as the ultimate bargaining chip against Victor. Because let's face it, Matt is the key to all of this. But then, disaster strikes, she loses Matt. Whether it was Victor who snatched him in the dead of night to protect Nick, or Patty Williams who poisoned Matt's mind against Phyllis by revealing she was just using him. The fact remains that Phyllis lost her only weapon. She has nothing left. And what does a desperate Phyllis Summers do when she is completely out of options? She goes on the offensive in the most reckless way possible. She goes to Jack Abbott. I mean, wow, just wow. When I saw her walk up to Jack, my jaw literally dropped, because we all know their history. We all know how toxic and complicated they can be, but right now, they are both victims of the exact same people. Jack is currently a complete and total mess, and honestly, I feel so bad for him, but I am also frustrated with how blind he can be. Diane has been missing for 2 days. 2 days. Kyle is running around town like a madman, literally pinning Patty Williams to a wall and choking her to get answers. Jack is panicking, thinking Patty kidnapped Diane to clear her path to him. But we all know Diane is probably just hiding out because she's petty and furious that Jack didn't grovel enough over that emotional voicemail. Regardless, Jack's mental state is incredibly fragile right now. He is stressed, he is angry, and he is feeling completely helpless. And her Phyllis, she knows exactly how to play this. She doesn't just ask Jack for a favor. Oh no, she goes straight for the jugular. She brings up the yacht. Yes, the yacht. I am so glad the writers are not letting this go because that storyline was so incredibly messed up. Remember when Victor orchestrated that entire kidnapping? He used Patty Williams, the little unstable psychopath, to drug Jack, lock him in a cabin, and sexually compromise him just to ruin his marriage to Diane. It was vile. It was one of the darkest things Victor has ever done, and Jack has been carrying that trauma around like a heavyweight. So Phyllis looks Jack right in the eye and reminds him of that. She reminds him of how violated he felt. She reminds him that Patty was the one who drugged him, and she did it on Victor's orders. And then she drops the bomb. Patty is doing it again. Patty is currently manipulating an amnesiac Matt Clark, using him as a pawn in this sick, twisted game that Victor is orchestrating. Phyllis is basically saying, look at what they did to you, Jack. Now look at what they are doing to Matt. Are we really going to let them get away with this? I mean, the manipulation is just top-tier Phyllis. She knows that Jack's Achilles heel is his sense of justice and his lingering rage toward Victor. Jack tries to hesitate. He really does. You can see it on his face. He doesn't want to get pulled into another one of Phyllis's revenge schemes. He knows that every time they team up, someone gets burned. Remember when they tried to take down Victor years ago? Yeah, didn't work then either. It always ends in tears and lawsuits. But Jack can't help himself. The anger is just boiling just beneath the surface. He is so furious at Victor for destroying his life, for pushing Diane away, for making his family suffer. And he is so disgusted by Patty and her delusional obsession with him. When Phyllis pitches this alliance, she isn't just asking him to help her find Matt. She is offering him a golden opportunity for revenge. She is saying, let's find Matt, let's take him back, and let's use him to absolutely destroy Victor and Patty once and for all. And Jack agrees. I literally cheered in my living room, and then immediately felt a sense of impending doom. Jack agreeing to a secret alliance with Phyllis is like pouring gasoline on a raging house fire. It is dangerous, it is risky, and it is going to cause so much collateral damage, but am I entertained? Absolutely. Think about the dynamics here. You have Phyllis, who is fighting for her freedom and her company, completely unhinged and willing to do whatever it takes. And you have Jack, who is fueled by trauma, betrayal, and a desperate need to regain control of his life. Together, they are a force of nature. But they are going up against Victor Newman, who is basically the final boss of Genoa City, and Patty Williams, who is a literal wild card with zero boundaries. I know some people are loving this, but personally, I am terrified of what Patty is going to do when she finds out Phyllis and Jack are coming for her. Patty is already unstable. We know she leaked false information to Phyllis just to trap her. We know she is manipulating Matt into thinking she is his only friend. Patty has a history of extreme violence when she feels cornered. I mean, Phyllis already triggered her by bringing up the time Patty kissed Summer with peanut butter lips when Summer had a deadly allergy. That alone proves that Patty is capable of literal murder. If Patty realizes that Jack, the man she is delusionally obsessed with, is teaming up with her worst enemy to take away her new toy Matt, she is going to snap. And what about Victor? Victor thinks he has won. He thinks Phyllis is done for. He has Michael Baldwin on the run. He has Christine doing his bidding, and he thinks he has neutralized Matt. When Victor finds out that Jack Abbott is sticking his nose into this mess, Victor is going to unleash hell on the Abbott family. He already hates Jack with a burning passion. This is just going to give Victor the excuse he needs to completely obliterate Jabot and everything Jack holds dear. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself again. Let's just focus on the fact that Jack and Phyllis have to actually find Matt first. Where even is he? The timeline is so messy right now because everyone is lying to everyone. Did Victor kidnap him? Did Nick? Is Patty hiding him in some creepy basement? Phyllis and Jack are going to have to do some serious detective work, and that means they are going to be spending a lot of time together. Am I the only one who thinks this is going to lead to some serious romantic tension between Jack and Phyllis? Because let's be real, Diane is missing, Jack is vulnerable, and Phyllis is Phyllis. They have so much history, and trauma bonding over their shared hatred of Victor Newman is basically their love language. I can totally see them sharing a close moment while staking out one of Patty's hideouts. And you just know Diane is going to miraculously reappear the exact second Jack and Phyllis look like they are getting too close. It is classic soap opera timing, and I am already bracing myself for the screaming match that will inevitably happen in the Abbott living room. But seriously, the stakes have never been higher. Phyllis is literally facing prison time. If she doesn't get Matt back to use as leverage against Victor and Christine, she is going to lose everything. She is fighting for her life, and Jack is fighting for his sanity. He needs to prove to himself that he isn't just a victim, that he isn't just a pawn that Victor can drug and toss aside. He needs a win. They both need a win. I just can't get over how brilliant the writing is for this specific dynamic. Phyllis using Jack's trauma to motivate him is so perfectly in character for her. She isn't doing it out of malice. She genuinely believes that taking down Victor is the only way they can both be free. She is appealing to his sense of justice, but she is also stoking the fires of his vengeance. And Jack, despite knowing better, is letting himself be pulled into the dark side because the light just isn't working for him anymore. Playing by the rules got him kidnapped and drugged. So now, he is ready to play dirty. I am so anxious to see how they are going to execute this plan. Are they going to try to flip Patty? Impossible. Are they going to try to restore Matt's memories so he turns on Victor himself? Maybe, but Matt is a wild card too. Even if he remembers everything, he hates the Newmans, but he also hates Phyllis. Matt is a monster in his own right, and trying to control him is like trying to put a leash on a rabid dog. So here is my prediction for the next few weeks. Jack and Phyllis are going to form this secret alliance, and they are going to start digging into Patty's movements. They are going to uncover just how deeply Patty has manipulated Matt, but in doing so, they are going to accidentally trigger one of Patty's traps, putting themselves in physical danger. Kyle is going to find out what Jack is doing and freak out, because Kyle is already on the edge of a breakdown over Diane. And Victor is going to catch wind of their little team up and use it to completely destroy Jack's reputation. I know it sounds like a disaster waiting to happen, but that is exactly why I watch this show. I want the drama. I want the explosive confrontations. I want to see Phyllis Summers claw her way back from the brink of destruction, and I want to see Jack Abbott finally get some payback for what happened on that yacht. This alliance is everything I didn't know I needed, and I am going to be glued to my screen every single day to see how it plays out. Phyllis and Jack against the world, or at least against Victor and Patty. It is going to be messy, it is going to be emotional, and it is going to be absolutely legendary. I just hope they both survive it.